Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of New House, Same Address. I'm back here with who are you guys? The one and only. That's what. Oh yeah, that's right. Eric and Karis.
Yep.
How are you guys this morning?
Doing well, thank you.
Doing well, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, question of the day: how do you like your steak?
Medium,
Medium.
little pink in the middle.
Okay.
I don't want it to make any noise when I cut it.
Okay. I'll accept
What,
that.
what about you?
Medium rare.
Medium rare. Okay.
So
Yeah.
squishy.
Just a little gummy on the inside.
Ew.
What?
Gummy?
Medium rare is God's holy way of eating it.
Nice to know.
And the reason why I ask is because last night I made a tragic mistake.
You get you a well done steak, huh?
I'm sorry.
And my wife had to eat it too. I think she was lying to me, but she was like, "No, this is great." I don't think
She had to drink like 4 glasses of water to get it down, but
super hydrated. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Just
cooked it too long.
I guess. I mean,
That generally is what
it
happens.
was
to it when you
perfectly
cook too long.
seared, and then I put the glass top. I was like, and then I was talking to Eric. He distracted me. And walked away for a second, came back, and it was still looked like it was pink in the middle. But when I pulled it off and got it on the plate, nothing.
Tragic.
It is sad.
It is sad.
Steaks they can be hard to cook. I still don't think I've perfected it.
Mm.
I think I get them occasionally; they're just right.
Mm-hmm.
But
It also depends on the thickness. Like, you get used to a certain thick cut of a steak.
yeah,
These ones were bigger because they were from Sam's. They were like a good 1.5 inches.
nice.
Good gracious.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna nail it.
Eating good in Jocelyn's house.
We are.
We'll be over for dinner.
Come over. I have 3 left. Anyhow, on to the subject and the matter at hand, which is how to make design selections. How to know what
Sure.
you like, how to choose them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question we get a lot is how do I know what to pick? How do I know what I like even? Sometimes people come in with a very clear, I want this, I want this, I want this, and that's great.
Right.
But a lot of times, people will just say, well, I want to make a good decision, but I don't know exactly how to do that. So what I generally suggest people do, if you have time, before you want to get started and you have a couple of days before you have to make a decision, I generally suggest they go to houzz.com, HOUZZ. Hey, it's
I don't know what that is.
Justin.
I wasn't supposed to say that.
Okay, it's really cool. It's like high class Pinterest. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
So
I think a lot of people aren't familiar with what it is.
Yeah, it's more designer focused and more like vendor and to the trade focused in some ways.
Okay.
You are going to find higher end products there, more expensive products there. So it's a great inspiration place to go to. And then I always shop around, of course. But a lot of times they will you can just go to their photo gallery and you'll see all these like award winning kitchens that designer picks, like really nicely done kitchens. And what I usually suggest someone to do is make a board like you would in Pinterest or what do they call it? A book in-house? There's some sort of thing like that. And I would just name it kitchen ideas, cabinets. And then I would go through all the pictures, I had time to look at. And I would just put every picture of kitchens that I liked in that folder. And then I would do the same thing with backsplashes. And then I would do the same thing with countertops or appliances or something like that. And after you've done that for a couple of days, if you go back and look at, say, your cabinet folder, what will happen is you'll notice that you like a lot of the same things. Oh, I pinned 15 pictures and 12 of them are white. Probably you like white cabinets.
Gotcha.
If you pin, 15 kitchens and 12 of them are black, then you probably like black cabinets. So you can kind of narrow your focus down that way. You'll start noticing like styles will be similar. Either they'll be like more traditional or more modern. Your face frames, if they're bigger or narrower, like the European style, you'll start noticing trends in the things that you like. And so what that does is, even though you might not be able to describe what you like verbally, when you start seeing pictures, your brain recognizes what you like, and you can kind of narrow it down that way.
That's good advice.
And so once you've kind of decided the cabinet color, then I do the countertops and the backsplash, and then you can kind of go from there. It's a much easier way to pick what you like.
Would that advice be kind of along the same lines if someone were to say, it's hard for me to even do this project or move forward with anyone because I can't envision what it's going to look like in my space? Do you have any tips about that specific question?
Yes and no. I mean, in some ways, that's always going to be a question. But that's why I like to see it in pictures, and maybe I don't like to copy things exactly because I don't want to be a copycat. I want to have my own unique thing. But
Right.
I also like knowing and being confident in my selections. So if I see it in a picture, I may or may not feel comfortable. So that's where I usually suggest someone comes into the showroom, and then we'll pull the cabinet colors and we'll pull some of the samples of the countertops and we'll put them together where they can actually see them and touch them. And if we need to take them and put them under different lights, different temperatures, going back to our lighting discussion a couple of weeks ago,
Kevin.
Lord Kelvin.
Lord Kelvin, because the temperature of your light definitely affects the color. People will say they like white cabinets, and I'm like, which white? I mean, even just in the showroom, we have about 15 or 20 different shades of white samples, big samples. And if that's not even counting the small samples. So there are a lot of things you can do.
Yeah.
And then of course, you get creative with the colors too.
Absolutely. Okay.
What about bathrooms?
It would be a very, very similar process. I would look at bathroom design pictures though instead of kitchen design if you're trying to pick a cabinet color, just because in a smaller space it translates differently. If your bathroom's small, I wouldn't suggest like real dark cabinetry necessarily. Depending on the shape, a lot of times bathrooms are a little more traditional layouts than a lot of the kitchens are nowadays, and so you can find something that's probably almost exactly like your bathroom in picture and kind of use that as inspiration, and that would help.
Yeah. So you mentioned house.com.
Right.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, not a sponsor.
What else? What other options are out there for?
Pinterest is good too. Pinterest is kind of notorious for not linking products because it's so easy to post to Pinterest. That's one of the reasons I do like Houzz, is because a lot of times if you hover on something, a tag will pop up and you can like click through and find the product itself. So if you just fall in love with a tile and you have to have that exact tile, we can probably get it if it's on Houzz.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's good to know.
Explain Pinterest to someone who may not know what it is, aka
Jostin.
myself.
I do
Okay.
know what Pinterest is.
I know
that's
what it
right.
is.
I know your wife.
what
I
it
know
is,
she probably
but,
does too.
Like, how does it work? I don't even understand. Where do you get these pins from?
I can answer this.
Okay, go for it, Jostin. I'm curious to know.
What is on your Pinterest board?
If I logged in, what would be there is a Lamborghini collection
Okay.
and a men's formal suit collection of like ties,
Leftover
socks,
from your
shoes.
wedding?
No, this was in high school.
Oh, okay, even further back.
Yeah, so it'd be a collection of like suit coats and pants, and just outfits and watches, stuff like that. Classy guy.
So kind of like your wish list, Christmas wish
It's
list.
kind of like that. So what they did is basically what you can do is you see a board or you see a picture that you like, you can pin it, and that's where the tryst comes after because it sparks your interest.
Oh, okay.
So they fuse the two words together. It's Pinterest. So
got
something that you're interested in, such as Lamborghinis, of course. You would just pin it to your board, gather inspiration, and then become a multi-millionaire and buy a Lamborghini.
That's
3
right.
simple steps.
When you have
Use
that much
Pinterest.
money, you'll just go back to Pinterest and pick out your favorite,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I do have a
Okay.
favorite Lamborghini.
That's good to know.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah. Well, I pin hairstyles and makeup and
Okay.
office casual ideas.
So this is
Like
just,
dress office casual?
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
I thought you meant like how to set up an office casually.
well, I actually have some of those too. So, but it's a great place.
They must be vanilla folders. Or manila. I don't know what the
Yeah.
vanilla.
manila. It must taste like vanilla.
Yeah, it is. It is helpful for things like that. It's like basically a bulletin board for.
Idea junk drawer,
That's
kind of.
That's a pretty good description. I think
Junk
we
is a
used to
little
have
harsh.
you used to cut pictures out of magazines and like glue
Oh,
them
like
in
a
a scrapbook.
scrapbook. Yeah.
We don't do that anymore.
This is digital scrapbook.
Yeah, it's impossible to find things if you get too far in. It's been so many years since I started my Pinterest boards that now I'm just like, I just start a new one. These are hairstyles I like this year.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a great place to find recipes too.
It is, but it's also a greater place to find bathroom products. And kitchen, I would say greater place.
And
but
I
it's
will
good-
say I don't have a great track record for Pinterest recipes. We'll sit down to dinner and Eric's like, let's not put this one on the rotation.
Yeah. Can I tell you how to cook a steak?
yeah.
You probably could get ideas there.
Yeah.
I'll tell me your idea, and then I'll tell you how I did it.
What are you talking about?
The steak.
Oh, I don't know. I've
For
done it a
later
couple
time.
different ways. Later time.
A later
Okay,
time.
yeah.
Lots of butter
Cast
on
iron
top.
skillet on the grill.
Okay.
Works good.
On the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now my interest is piqued. I need to Pinterest this.
Yes, I suggest you
Look
go
it up.
home and pin.
So
Anyhow.
how does this help contractor if someone has a Pinterest board or a house idea book board, whatever?
That's
it's
what it
called?
is. It's an idea book on
Okay.
house. Well, it's helpful when I've worked with clients in the past for them to come in and they say, I don't know what I like, but here are pictures that I liked on house. And I'm like, well, here's 20 pictures and 18 of them have white cabinets.
Right.
Maybe we should think that you prefer white.
Yeah.
Or look, you have a lot of natural wood here. That's probably, you are going for a warmer, more, traditional look there. Or, we'll notice that it's mission style instead of raised panel or European style, like the big, thick laminated, what are they called? They have no faces on the cabinets. They're just the doors. They're just a European style, right?
Oh.
The faceless,
Frameless?
frameless. Yeah,
Okay.
not faceless.
Those
frameless.
are some of my favorite.
I love them. I mean, they're so like cool and clean and sleek, and
Yeah.
they're easy to wipe off, and
Yes.
peanut butter doesn't
No.
stick to them.
No ridges or divots.
Yeah.
coming out. Yeah.
So, you can just gather ideas from there. So if someone comes in and they have a house idea book, I can help them like identify these are the things that they like, and that really goes a long way towards one making them feel confident, and two, like you just have a better idea of, when you start picking out samples and putting them on the table in the showroom, like this is what we liked, and so now we can actually see it and touch it and feel it, and that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I think that helps me too when I'm working with clients. If they have a Pinterest board, is usually what it is, or they just already know what they like. Yes, it makes it easy for me, but it's not just like it makes my job easier, but it makes it to where I know exactly what to suggest to them and show them exactly what I need to show them
Yeah.
of what we have, because of what we have is so vast and so great. What I would let the person out there listening know is that our collection is so vast
It is huge.
that if you have no idea and want to see everything, it's just going to be a whirlwind and
Kinda
a lot
overwhelming. Yeah.
and a lot of time spent. If I have to, one, bring it all to your house, or two, if we spend it in the showroom, it could be 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, if we have an idea of what you like before we come, we can bring more specific samples,
Yeah.
or you can, I guess.
Yeah.
The showroom, we have, you couldn't even fit it all in your vehicle.
No.
There's just too many to choose from. So having an idea before your appointment is good. It's not necessary, but it is
Yeah.
helpful,
It is.
just so we know a little bit more of, how to help you the best. I mean, the goal is to make you happy with your kitchen
Exactly.
or your bathroom.
Exactly. Perfect.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Well, nope. I didn't have a whole lot to comment on this one, but I
mean,
think it
that's-
is helpful.
Yeah, that's pretty
to,
straightforward.
Well, he's a lot more opinionated when it's our kitchen.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
He had his own idea books.
Yes. I
Yes, he did.
Not Pinterest, though, because I'm not.
No, it was on House. We
is
had
kinda-
a shared idea book,
Yeah.
and usually about once a week they put out like a new articles with new kitchens and new pictures. And I would like every Wednesday morning. I remember that. I'd drink my coffee, and we would look at pictures on House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is overlooked sometimes is the design or quality, of course, but more specifically the design of the shower plumbing fixtures,
Yes.
specifically the head. I think that's something that is really good to think about. If you want something that has like you can turn it sprays differently, that's one thing to think about. And not only that, how they spray, because there's so many different options. Some rain heads or like have the jets, or some pause and stop like a massager, and some don't. So you have to look at that. If you want one that's super narrow and shoots like what you would turn on the jet stream for your hose.
Yeah,
Stuff
if you
like
have really
that.
thick hair, you do not want a rain shower head. Like
Yeah.
you'll be sitting there forever trying to get shampoo out.
Yeah.
Does not work great.
We have a rain shower head. It's not like in the ceiling, right? But I almost don't like it, but it works. Yeah. So it's just a little less abrasive.
So
But I prefer abrasive. So
okay, good to know.
So maybe look up some
I'm gonna
some
Pinterest
YouTube
this.
videos of water pressure coming out of a faucet. What is
Yes.
Pinterest going to tell you about the type of water coming out?
Well, Pinterest won't, but it can.
Pinterest will tell you how to determine it based on your hair texture and your hair thickness.
Will it really?
Oh yeah,
Well, that's pretty handy.
Pinterest is full of opinions on all kinds of things
Okay.
like that.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. Okay. So Eric makes a good point. YouTube the water pressure test for the different shower faucet heads, but then make sure you can get that specific pressure or something similar in a design that you want. It could come in a head like this big round or one this big round.
Yeah.
Very
So,
true.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
Very
that would be a quick little
tip.
Yeah,
little
just
tip.
throw it a tip about shower heads at the end of our discussion about how to pick out your cabinet design. But that's great.
Well, we were talking about kitchens, but I mean, all designs.
We can talk about shower heads
We're just
too.
full of value. If it
That's-
comes, if it comes to the mind, it's
Well,
gonna
I
come
mean, the
out.
next thing on the list was the toilet. So
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of technology in toilets.
There are.
That-
At the Kitchen and Bath Show, I was blown away by all the different
yeah,
technology available.
something you might consider if you're married and have a bigger master bathroom is having two conjoined toilets
That picture is on Pinterest, and that's just disgusting.
back to back or
That's-
side to side.
Buddy time.
What brings you here, sir? Oh,
That's
Let's
far
wrap it
enough.
up there.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
wrap it up. Like that's
good.
enough.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning into another episode of New House, Same Address. Thank you for being with us. We will talk to you in the next episode.
See you
Bye.
next time.